Are you or a loved one disabled? Do you feel alone, lost, and confused as to how to win your Social Security case? If you're watching this video, it's probably because you have so many questions and you're desperately looking for the answers. Hi, my name is Avi Leibovic, and I'm the owner at Benefits for All and the lead attorney at Avi Leibovic Associates. Over the course of my 20-year career, I've overseen the processing and screening of over 500,000 disability cases, working with the largest hospitals, neighborhood clinics, primary care physicians, and even individuals who had no access to care at all. My strategies for how to win the case have made me one of the top experts in Social Security law in the entire nation. My life and my career were going great. And then one day it all came crashing down. It started first with some abdominal pains. And before I knew it, I'd been admitted to the hospital several times and I required multiple surgeries. I found myself unable to work and disabled and in desperate need of my own benefits. I understand exactly how you feel. I was in your shoes. And I'm going to take you through the process and help you and give you everything that I know so that you can win your case. I'm recovered and I'm back at work. And I have a newfound passion for helping disabled people because I myself have been there too. Call our office today for a free screening and to see how we can help you with your Social Security case. At the same time, enjoy these videos and webinars that we've prepared to you to help you understand how to win your Social Security case. Hi everyone, this is Avi Leibovic and you're watching another amazing webinar brought to you by Benefits for All, where we teach you how to win your Social Security disability case without having to pay the cost of an expensive attorney. It's getting late in the evening. We just passed throughout Mississippi into Alabama, sweet home Alabama. I'm standing here by the Welcome Center. Alabama welcomes you. I don't know if you can read that with the lighting. Alabama Great Seal. The Union's 22nd state, 1819, December 14th. It is a real special treat for me to be here in Alabama, sweet home Alabama. No question about it. On my way to the USS Alabama, and a terrific day in Alabama going around to the communities, to the offices, Social Security district offices, the ODARs, introducing myself, getting to know the flavor. I've said on so many other webinars in so many other states, you may have found me or came across Benefits for All because of an online social media advertisement. But I don't want you to think that you're hiring an attorney from California, from New York, someone who has no relationship at all to the state of Alabama. I've taken the time to get in my car, not fly, to get in my car and drive down here, to go through the communities, to get an understanding of how healthcare is administered, to understand the people, to understand how you live. There's a difference, as I said so many times, between the people in Alabama and the people in Florida, and the people in Florida and the people in New Mexico. Difference between the people in New Mexico and the people in Vermont or Maine or New Hampshire, Rhode Island, all of New England, or California for that matter. Everyone is different. Every community, every state is so different from one another. And the quality of care and the availability of care, the access to care is all different. And the attorneys are different, and the Social Security offices are different, and the district offices and the ODARs and the Disability Determination Services, and we have different win rates in every single state. How could it be that we have different win rates if the laws are all the same federally across the board? And the answer is because while they are the same, every locality, every area, the geographic area, translates, interprets, applies these laws in different ways. Okay? What we're going to do for all my friends in Alabama is, I know, excuse me, we're driving very late at night, and I apologize for that. I do. But I can't recut it, and here we are, so I'm going to go forward. My friends in Alabama are sitting home. You've watched the webinars. You heard about learning how to do your application, learning how to do your reconsideration, learning how to do your hearing on your own, and you said, you know what, I think I can do this. I don't necessarily need to pay the cost of an expensive attorney. What? $25,000? 25% or $6,000, whichever is less? 25% or $6,000? That's a lot of money. I'm going to do it on my own, but luckily you and I have met. You heard about what we're doing, something revolutionary, that claimants across the country are going to learn how to do this. And they're going to have a professional, someone who has tremendous expertise. I've represented over 100,000 claimants in my career, and we're going to show you how to go ahead and win your Social Security case. Okay, so let's talk about it because some of you are maybe sitting on your couch at home and you're saying, oh my goodness, now that I know what to do, am I going to win? What are my chances, right? What are my odds? Everyone wants to know before they put a bet down. They go to Vegas, they go to Atlantic City, right? You're playing a little dice or whatever. What are my chances of winning? What are the odds? What are the house odds? Well, let's talk about the nation's odds. Let's talk about Alabama's odds. Let's talk about it all. Alabama, the 22nd state, I'm sorry. So nationally, if you're going ahead and you're submitting an application for disability benefits, the national win rate right now, 2016, is 31.7. That means for every 100 applications, 31.7, or rounding up, 32 applications will be approved. Okay, and where does Alabama come in? Well, Alabama actually is just a smidge underneath the national rate. The national approval rate, we said, is 31.7. For Alabama, it's 30.3. Just a touch, so you're pretty much right where the rest of the country's doing. Not any higher, just a touch lower. It doesn't really, nothing significant. I was in, which state was it in? Was it Mississippi? I don't know if it was Mississippi, maybe it was Louisiana. There's a very, very low application win rate. It's unbelievable how low it is. And what they need to do to apply and win is very different than what you need to do to apply and win. We're going to talk about that. The reconsideration, which is generally, if you don't get approved of the application, is what you would go ahead and you would implement and request right within 60 days of an initial denial letter. The reconsideration nationally is 11.2%. That's such a low number. And you know what? Your state, Alabama, is one of the states that have a reconsideration that has been eliminated. A reconsideration level has been eliminated. Instead, they call this a prototype region, or they call this a redesign region. What does it mean, redesign? It means we're redesigning how we want to do it. Social Security wants to roll this out at new design across the country, and they've picked a couple of geographic areas where they're implementing a redesign or a prototype, a new type of appeal system. So what is this? Let's take it slow. Whereas in every state you have an application and a reconsideration and then a hearing. Alabama is one of the few locations that has eliminated the reconsideration stage, and instead of having a second chance at the reconsideration, what they do is they've implemented a pre-decision interview. A pre-decision interview, right, means that you submit your application. Instead of just having the case denied, they send you a letter and you find out by way of letter that you denied the case. The worker who's looking at your case, instead of denying it, will call you up, will contact you, will let you know who they are, and they'll say, listen, the district office goes ahead and it reviews what? Remember from the webinars, it reviews the residency, the citizenship, the income, the resources. When it comes to the medical part, the case, the medical records, everything is referred out of the district office and it's referred to the Disability Determination Services, DDS. So someone's going to call you and they're going to say, listen, we need to meet with you because we kind of have a lot of the things down, what we need for your application. You didn't quite have exactly what we need. We can't approve yet, but we want to talk about it. What do you need? So instead of having a reconsideration, which has to be requested within 60 days, Alabama and several other areas which are called prototype or redesign offices, they're going ahead and they're saying, you know what? Come on in for an interview. Let's look at the file together. Let's see what we're missing, right? And let's talk about what you need to give us so that instead of me going ahead and leaving this pre-decision interview and saying I'm going to deny you, let me leave the pre-decision interview and let me approve you, right? If you need more medical records, we're going to get more medical records. If you need more medication or updated medication lists, we're going to get that. If you need prescription from your doctors for your assistive devices, right? Some people, they just go ahead and they buy from the Walmart or they borrow from their aunt or their grandmother who passed away a cane or a crutch or a leg brace or back brace. That doesn't have enough weight with Social Security. You need to have it prescribed by your doctor, as we've talked about in several of the webinars. So whether you have 2 crutches, 2 canes, a walker, a wrist brace, an elbow brace, a shoulder brace, a neck brace, whether you have a back brace, whether you have a knee brace, whether you have a hip and a leg extender, whether you have an ankle brace, whether you have a breathing apparatus for nighttime, right? A CPAP machine, whatever it is that you have, it's not enough to just use it. They want to see a prescription written out by your physician telling you that you need it. Okay? Those are some of the things that when you go into your pre-decision interview, which is in place of the reconsideration, you could talk about, well, tell me what you need and I'm going to get it. If my medical records are too old, I'm going to get you new medical records, right? Whatever you need, that's the time where you're going to go ahead and you're going to work hard to win this at the application level, to be part of the group that is in the approved group, right? To be part of the application group that's winning, which we said in Alabama is, what number was it? Sorry, we said it was just under the national average. National average is 31.7, you're at 30.3. We want to be in there because if you miss that and you don't win there, you have to then go ahead, when you get your denial, is you have to now submit a request for a hearing before an administrative law judge. Now, in the country, a request for hearing with the administrative law judge takes 348 days from the time that you request the hearing to the time you get your hearing date. 348 days, that's the average nationally. What is it here in Alabama? Well, the problem is in Alabama is it's not 348, it's 423 days. 423 days is a very, very, very long time if you're disabled. It's a very long time if you're just sick. Forget about if you really need help. You need your money. You need to pay for shelter. You need to pay for utilities. You need to pay for water. You need to pay for food. You need to pay for medication. Everything needs to be, you need your Medicaid if you're applying for SSI. You need your Medicare if you're applying for SSDI, which will be approved in 24 months, right? Plus a 5-month waiting period, 29 months. You can't wait around. And if you don't win at your application, you're now gonna have to wait, what? 423 days. That means that if your application took 4 to 6 to 8 months, which it could easily take 8 months, and then you now get denied, and there's no reconsideration, so you have to wait another 423 days, you're talking about a year, 9 months, more. You're talking about 2 years. 2 years from today, if you start from today, if you don't win at that application, it's 2 years until you gotta go before a judge for your disability case. You don't wanna go 2 years to wait for your disability case. You need to win your case in Alabama at the application level. So let's review this one more time for my friends in Alabama, because right now, just so you know, the win rate nationally for your Social Security disability benefits is 58.5%. 58.5 out of 100 applications, 58 or 59 are going to win. What's going on in Alabama? In Alabama, if you're applying for Social Security disability benefits and you got to go before a judge because your application got denied, your win rate is 61.6%. It's a little bit higher than the rest of the country. So you're in good shape. But what's the downside to that? The downside is there's not enough judges. There's not enough time to go and get before a judge before you get really sick, because you have to wait 423 days. That's the average for Alabama. So let's back up over here. We're going from state to state. We're going from California to New York, right? From West Coast to East Coast, and then from north to south. We're going through every state, and we're taking a look to see if a person applies for Social Security disability benefits, SSI, Supplemental Security Income, or SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. We want to see, what are my chances of winning? We want to see what the rest of the country is winning, what are their average, and then we want to see what the specific state is winning. The win rates for California are different than New Mexico, they're different for Florida, they're different for New York, New Hampshire, every state is different. Alabama, right? Alabama is, I think, a pretty fair state. We said that you were right a touch underneath the national average at 31% win rate for the application. We said, though, that you've cut out the reconsideration, so the workers in Alabama, before they deny your case, they're going to call you up. They're going to say, come down to the district office, let's look at your medical records together. It's called a pre-decision interview. You're going to go down there and you're going to talk about your medical records, you're going to talk about your case, you're going to figure out what do they need, and instead of them just denying you, Alabama is nice enough to let you go ahead and provide what you need, and that's why you have a pretty good shot at winning. But I want you, as someone who's navigating you, as someone who's coming out here and doing these webinars, what I want to tell my friends in Alabama is you really want to try to win it at the application and have everything they need, because if you don't win an application, what do we say? 423 days until what? Until you get your hearing. And for the last time, if your application takes 9 months, 9 months to do, and then you got to wait 423 days, you're talking about 2 years. And we cannot wait. My friends in Alabama who are disabled, we cannot wait to pay for the rent for 2 years. We cannot wait to buy food for 2 years. We cannot wait for electricity for 2 years. We cannot wait for medicine for 2 years. Maybe you need to hire an attendant to help you get in and out of bed. If you can't do your daily activities, if you can't dress yourself in the morning, you can't bathe yourself in the morning, you can't cook, you can't shop, you can't handle money, you can't do transportation, you probably are disabled. If you have a severe impairment that's expected to last for 12 or more months and or result in death, you should be applying for Social Security disability benefits. My friends, I have to go. We got to head over to the USS Alabama. We got a lot to see tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to hit Alabama and see the rest of it. I came here because I need to see where you live. I need to see what it's about. That's the only way I can help you, okay? Now, again, I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell if you're disabled. That's a conversation that you need to have with your doctor. If you're not going to the doctor, we've discussed many times, you will not win your case if you don't go to a doctor. You cannot go to Social Security or to a judge, an ALJ, and say, oh, my back is hurting and my knees are hurting. Ooh, if you understood, I'm fatigued and shortness of breath and everything is just terrible. That doesn't win a case. The judge will listen to you. He or she will hear how much pain you're in, but that doesn't win a case. You know what wins a case if you're disabled? In Alabama, in every state, go into the doctor. You need to go to the doctor. If you don't have a private doctor, you got to go to a clinic, a free clinic. If you don't have a free clinic, you got to go to the emergency room. You got to get medical records, because if you don't have medical records, I don't care who the attorney is, right? They say you can't turn straw into gold, right? You can't turn straw into gold. We need medical, we need imaging, x-rays, we need labs, we need medical records, we need examinations, and they need to be recent. It's 2016. We need to see something that's recent. If you're going to give me medical records that's from 1998, what do you think that's going to do? That's not going to help the Social Security in Alabama win your case if it's from 1998. I got news for you. Medical records from 2007, those are pretty old too. 2012, still old. You might need it to start showing, well, my symptoms started in 2012, but they didn't kick in hard until 2014. Now by 2016, I can't work at all. It took 2, 3, 4 years to get to this point, so we can deal with some of that. But they have to be relevant. Another situation where you might want to use old medical records would be if you had an injury that you had. Let's say you went skiing on your hip, and you were 15 years ago, you went skiing on your hip and you broke your hip, you fell down. And then it kind of repaired, but it never really got back to the way it was. You needed therapy and physical therapy. It wasn't perfect, but you did the best you could. Okay, but you were 48 then, right? Now you're 58, you're 62. That hip problem that you had from way back from skiing, that kind of healed but didn't heal, it's hitting you harder now at 58. Well, Social Security wants you to work until you're 63 or 65 or 67. You take early retirement benefits, they're going to cut your money in half. So ordinarily, I would tell you we don't need the old medical records from 10 years ago. But if you need to make your argument to the judge, well, hey, here's the story, Your Honor. It's not like I hurt myself last week and here I am. I hurt myself 10, 15 years ago. Here are the medical records. It kind of got better. I went back to work, and now I'm injured again because I'm 10 years older. I'm 58, 62. I can't, my body's not like the same what it was when I was 38. Then you would put those old medical records. Anyways, you're watching this webinar. On the side of your page, you'll see a lot of other webinars about everything to do with the Social Security process. I'm giving it to you. I've represented over 100,000 claimants in my career. I'm giving you whatever I have from the bottom of my heart, all with love. All you have to do is watch this video. If you watch this video, I will tell you what you need to do to win. You just have to trust me. Again, I can't say if you're disabled. That's between you and your doctor, and I trust you and your doctor. We don't want any fraudulent claims over here because it takes away the time of the people at Social Security who really need to work on the people who really are disabled. So everyone's legit and straight, but I will tell you what forms to fill out for the application, what forms to fill out for the reconsideration, even though in Alabama there is no reconsideration, what forms to fill out for the hearing before the judge. I will tell you why you need to fill out those forms. I will tell you where to submit those forms. And most importantly, I will tell you the buzzwords that you need to use on those forms, because the words are so important that you use on those forms so that by the time it gets to the person who makes a decision on your case, whether it's in the district office or whether it's in the judge's office, the ODAR, the Office of Disability Adjudication and Review, that person needs to have those buzzwords bumping out at them, right? Remember we said 31.7% is the national rate, 30% is the rate in Alabama for wins. That means 100 applications are submitted, only 30 are going to win. I want yours to be one of the winners. I'm not so interested about the other 99 people. I want yours to sparkle. I want yours to stand out. I want them to look at you and they look at your case, and the first time you submit it, they say, you know what? We got to help this person out. This person needs our help. They've done everything right. They've given us everything we need. This person deserves to get the Social Security benefits. Anyways, click on the webinars, see which one you need. They're all there for you. Each one has a different topic, a different discussion, a different issue. My name is Avi Leibovic, www and Benefits for All, and I promise you, working together, I will teach you how to win your Social Security disability case without having to pay the costs of an expensive attorney. Thank you very much.